Joining me on Tarot Machine. This is your monthly reading for September 2017, and this will be for the sign of Gemini. So let me go ahead and give these cards a shuffle to see what energies you'll be working with for the month. Okay, Gemini. In the middle of the reading, you have the Tree of Life. So, in this deck, it has extra cards and they have different meanings to the extra cards, but you got one of the extra cards meaning the Tree of Life. So, for singles, and couples, you could be taking more of a reflective look of how your life is going when it comes to you being in a relationship, or if you already in a bond with somebody, you're taking a second look of seeing how's everything going and where you moving forward to kind of build your own, for singles, to build your own life that the way you want your life to be when it comes to you being in a one-on-one relationship. You could be looking at marriage, children, security, everything that comes with making your life more fulfilling. You're doing a second guess and you're kind of sitting back and kind of analyzing what your life need to make it really complete when it comes to what your idea of a relationship is with a person in a one-on-one. Somebody could be doing this to you, or you're doing this with somebody you're talking to, trying to foresee how far you can get when it comes to fulfilling your life's purpose when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship with somebody. If you already coupled up, it's saying either your companion is doing this or you're doing this, that you are both taking a step back and looking at what you already built in your relationship to see if it's still on course, or is it to its full completion when it comes to your bond or your union. Maybe it's now you kind of newly wedded and now you're thinking about kids. You're trying to build different layers to your relationship and your bond with your companion. Either your companion is doing this to you, or you doing this with the companion, or you both are sitting back to see what else can we add in our relationship to make us a well-rounded couple, or having a well-rounded bond, or making our life together more fulfilling when it comes to us building stuff together that has a meaning, a meaningful purpose, and it has a lot to do with our bond and our union together. Either your companion's thinking this, you're thinking about this with the companion, or y'all both is trying to take a more of a reflective, analytical look of what your relationship needs at this time. With what you have underneath you is the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So for singles, you could be meeting this person, or somebody could be talking to you that they're coming off very cold or nonchalant about you being in a one-on-one relationship with them. They emotionally coming off cold, or they coming off like they don't have a care, or they kind of empty as a person when it comes to talking to them of being in a one-on-one relationship. Either you're doing this with somebody or somebody doing this to you, because with the tree of life being the root of everything, it's saying that you may be coming off empty to this person because this person is not fitting your construct of what you want to be in a relationship with and move further in life with as a person. Either somebody's thinking this about you, or you're thinking this about somebody that's coming to you that is displaying this cold, empty kind of attitude, because it seemed like you will probably um, give them what you want, and it may be a confliction of what they want when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. So they're acting cold because they don't like what is showing a kind of confliction of ideas of how to build a life together with somebody you're talking to. Either the person sees that in you or you see that in somebody else. Um, if you already coupled up, what it's saying is that as y'all is looking back on how to build your relationship or add new layers to your bond with your companion, it could bring up old emotions that haven't been washed out. So as you're trying to move forward to build stuff, your companion could be acting cold or acting like they really don't care because they're still at a point of still analyzing how to make the relationship better with your companion. So either your companion's thinking this or you're thinking this, or both of y'all going to hit these periods of kind of being empty because they're more of a reflective thing on a more hard space to figure out what else you need, and maybe your companion is thinking one thing and you're thinking another thing. So it's kind of doing this thing that it periodically you're both is kind of being empty at times when it comes to bringing in something new that could help your relationship because of the two different ideas of where you trying to craft your relationship to be. What you have under in the past is the Ten of Wands and the upright. So the Ten of Wands and the upright is saying that either in the past, for singles, either somebody did this to you or you did this like that to them. You talked to this person and you felt the person had too much on their plate and they could not take on another burden when it came to being in a one-on-one relationship, or they couldn't take you as being in a relationship at that time because they felt it would be another burden on their plate that they have to worry about when it comes to being in a one-on-one relationship. Either somebody thought this about you or you thought this about somebody else, but they figured that whatever they was going to take on was just adding more burden to them, and maybe the timing was off of being in a one-on-one relationship, and this person could be more driven to kind of clear their own individual things off their plate so they could make room to bring in something else. Either you did this with somebody in the past or somebody did this to you. um if you already coupled up, what it's saying is that in the past you and your companion took on a lot of stuff to craft your relationship better, to get it to a certain point, and it came with a lot of strifes and it came with a lot of burdens that you sacrificed for the relationship or for the bond. But it's saying that you are actually at an ending point because you want to make your relationship now moving forward less burdensome. You want it more easy breezy, or bring some more carefree stuff into your relationship without the strife and the burden. Either your companion did this in the past or you did this in the past, or you both was thinking that to craft our bond better, we took on a lot of stuff and now we want to move forward without all this drama put into our relationship so we can craft new things to help our bond be better. What you have above you is the Seven of Swords in the upright. So, for Gemini, for singles, it's saying that you could be meeting a person that's not giving you they're not they hiding information about themselves, or they're trying to get you roped mentally to overwash a bad quality about themselves, or like a sneaky quality about themselves, but they throwing up a sort of an invisible wall to you to make you see something else that they have that is a flaw. This person could be sneaky. This dude can be a liar. This person can be a person that deals with people very dishonestly to get what they want. Either you're coming off like this to somebody you're talking to, or somebody's coming off like this to you, that they they will present themselves in such a way, but they have another alternative motive. So this person could have an alternative motive of being in a relationship with you. I don't see coins, but I do see another card here, and I will explain it. That they is throwing up a fantasy, so they talking you into a fantasy to make you see something that is really being covered up, and it could be a shady mood. Either you doing this, or you doing, or somebody doing this to you when you get into a relationship. Um, if you already coupled up, what it's saying is that some of the stuff that is that will help your relationship be better, it's saying that you may have to come more honest about it and stop kind of keeping stuff away from your companion, or and kind of put everything on the table. This is more of a advice kind of thing. You have to stop trying to act in a certain way that you're trying to cover up certain things in the relationship, or certain types of behaviors, or some kind of sneaky behavior that is happening in the relationship. If you want to keep building your relationship better, maybe your companion is been hiding stuff due to they didn't want to hurt your feelings, or they figured that they was hiding it from you, or being sneaky about it because they knew it would send you into a emotional um turmoil, or you would take a more cold standpoint on them, or you would just become a empty bitch at them, or whatever. They is saying this is more for couples. You have to be more honest, because maybe your companion did hide something from you, and it sent your mood into a different direction because they kept it a secret and didn't put it on the table the way they supposed to. Either your companion did this to you, or you did this to the companion, or both of y'all can be keeping secrets from each other for different reasons, just to keep the relationship going until you can find a way to honestly bring it to the table on the forefront without the reaction that you would normally respect out of somebody if they found out about it. Either your companion did this to you, you did this to the companion, or both of y'all is doing this at the same time while you're in the relationship. The last card you have is the Three of Swords in the upright for singles. I'm going to definitely tell you this. You could be meeting this person that has a secret, or has a secret way, or be secretive about telling you stuff, or acting secret, because they may have another person. They may want their cake and eat it too. Either you're doing this with somebody you're talking to, or somebody is doing this to you, that they present themselves in not the best light, or they trying to hide stuff or cover stuff up because they may have somebody else. And is also saying that this person with the Three of Swords, this person is going around being a heartbreaker. Basically, they being a heartbreaker, and they don't care who they hurt in going forward into a relationship. They could be having a bad habit of going and talking to different people, and not telling each other how, who they getting involved with, or who they trying to lay down with, or and they trying to present themselves to the next person, but they don't care. They hurting the next person they're talking to by moving on to somebody else and doing the same game. Either you're doing this to somebody, or somebody is doing this to you. If you already coupled up, it's just saying that whatever is almost saying face the truth, basically, to me, is that whatever the secret is, people is going to be heartbroken once it's dropped on the table, or once you find out about it. Is saying that you, with you trying to build this tree of life with your companion, or this better bond, certain things you're going to hear that was kept from you is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt because it's giving you a different perception, because you was presented with something different at the time that it was brought up. And it's saying once that truth come out, it's gonna hurt your feelings. You're gonna feel like you stabbed in your back, or your companion's gonna feel like you stabbed in the back. If both of y'all is doing this at the same time to maintain the relationship or to keep the bond tight, both of y'all gonna be hurt because it was something that should have been brought up at the time it happened, and it didn't get brought up. It kind of got washed out, and you moved on to something else. But when it does come out, you're gonna feel betrayed, or you're gonna feel like, oh, it shouldn't have went on like this. You should have came a little bit more correct when this was going on. So usually with your reading, I'm gonna do some clarifiers with the reversals, and a couple of these swords. I want to do it. I might do it with all of them. So let me see what the cups is. You got the seven of swords in reverse, so it's definitely somebody acting sneaky. For singles, what it's saying is that somebody, whoever you're meeting or talking to, they presented themselves in a different light. You took them verbatim, and when you find out how this person really is, you're gonna be mad as hell, or you're gonna feel betrayed. Either you're doing this with somebody, or somebody is doing this to you. That once you find out whatever they was keeping a secret, you gonna probably cut that person off emotionally, or you just gonna have a cold stand with that person because you may have found this out from somebody else, or the word in the street, or from another friend or something. I'm getting that feeling for singles that this person is presenting themselves the wrong way, and once you find out, you're about to get ready to emotionally cut that person off of dealing with that person. Either that person going to do it to you, or you're going to do it to that person. For a couple people already coupled up, it's just saying that it's saying the same thing. Once this thing gets laid on the table, you're gonna be mad and cutting them off for a hot minute because you may not want to talk to that person. You going to try to digest what just been exposed, and you're going to try to see if it's really something for you to trip on that bad, or you're going to try to figure out, is this more of something that can cause your relationship to be spit into something else. That's what I'm hearing. So once the secret comes out, or whatever comes out that was being hidden from you, you're going to have a cold emotional stand towards your companion. Either you're going to do this, or somebody else is or your companion's going to be doing this to you. So let's see. You got the Hierophant in the reverse. So, for singles, what it's saying is usually the Hierophant is going outside of yourself to get knowledge. I'm not getting that. I'm getting that you ignored the signs. That's why whoever you're talking to, either somebody is portraying this to you, or you doing portraying this to you. Either you came off stubborn about what was being brought, or what was visually happening to you, or what was happening is you was being hard-headed to what somebody was telling you about this person that you was trying to be in a relationship with. And I know that sounds negative, but you took a standpoint like you knew it all when it came to being in a relationship. Either this person did this to you, or you did this to them, and you found out something. Now you're kind of pissed and burnt because you thought you knew it all. And that's what I'm getting. If you already coupled up, what it's saying is that either your companion was doing this, or you was doing this. You was taking a stubborn standpoint on it, like you just didn't want to face this information. That's what it is. It seems like you was like, I can't believe it. Oh, I thought I knew this person like that, or I thought this, that, and the other. And it's like you don't want to swallow the jagged pill. I'm just gonna break it down, because you thought you knew your companion that well that they couldn't keep secrets, but somehow a secret kind of blew up from the back door and you found out, and you thought you knew your companion that kind of way. Either your companion thought about this, you thought this to the companion, or both of y'all blew each other's socks off on this mystery stuff, and you both thought you knew it all. Ooh, enough. Mm-hmm. So let me go ahead and check with the Seven of Swords. Oh God, the King of Swords for singles. Whoever you're talking to is coming off. They're filling your head with whatever they want to present to you. They're trying to talk you. They trying to talk you to a point that you will overlook their flaws or look this secret behavior out. Either you're doing this with somebody or somebody's doing this to you. They playing the mind game so you will not figure out what is really going on with them when it comes to them being in a one-on-one relationship. They are pumping your head. That's what they doing. They using every verbal way of trying to rope you to overlook their certain behavior that you will find that is kind of shady or dicey. Either somebody's doing this to you or you doing this to somebody else. And for people that's already coupled up, what it's saying is either your companion is definitely trying to do the baby baby please, so you won't kind of go off or give them the cold shoulder once they find out, or they're excusing what happened. They're talking in such a way, they're trying to excuse what happened as it's a moment in time, or that situation required that, or that was a judgment call I made, that was my bad, or they trying to talk you into kind of forgetting the sneaky behavior, or they trying to talk in such a way that they're trying to talk you out of not focusing on it to keep your emotions intact from going off on them. That's what I'm hearing. Either the companion is doing this to you doing this to the companion, or y'all both is trying to overtalk each other so y'all both can kind of forget what this dicey move is happening in your relationship. The Three of Wands in reverse. So the Three of Wands in reverse is definitely saying that for singles, that this person that's talking to you, they're not trying to put any other, they're not, I don't even want to say they trying to put a smoke screen on it, but it is basically a cut and dry situation of how this person was acting shady. Either you did this with somebody or somebody did this to you, because usually the Three of Wands meaning that you got one thing settled and you got more options out there to take advantage of, but this person is steering you in a singular view and action on something based on the way they're talking it, so you can see it only in one way. That's what I'm super getting, that they trying to talk a certain way, that they making this thing that they being shady about just a one-time thing, or they're trying to make it like it's a one-time thing and it will never happen again, or that was something that my companion or some of my person I was with in the past did and I did it because of A, B, and C. But they're trying to justify it in one singular way, and it's just, I have a feeling you are feeling this, you seeing this, you hearing this, and you digesting it, but something is not clicking. Something is like, okay, I'm missing something, like you're missing a piece of information, or you're trying to digest it the best way you can without trying to go off on this person or making it seem like, okay, I don't want to hurt this person's feelings, or you're trying to justify it in some way, or you're trying to look at it in such a way that maybe it was just that singular event of them being shady like that. Either somebody see that in you when you're talking to them, or you doing that to somebody is doing that to somebody. But I'm seeing that this is the conversation that they're trying to excuse. This is going in one direction, and that works for people that's already coupled up. Either your companion is trying to make it like it's a one-time thing, or try to steer your opinion in one direction to kind of hurry you up to conclude it, or kind of hurry up to kind of talk it out real fast and shut the whole conversation down on this secret thing that they're doing. They talking like real fast, making it real slick so you can get confused, aiming this conversation to lead you in one direction and then shut it down because before you could get a second thought on it. That's what, or you have a second drive to kind of reamp the issue up and bring it back to them again. Either your companion is doing this to you, or you doing this with the companion. Let's see what this Three of Swords is, because that's the killer right here. Let's see what it is. This Three of Swords is a hot mess. Let's see what you got. The Five of Cups. Okay, for single people. Usually the Five of Cups meaning crying over old issues. So basically, you could be doing this to somebody, or somebody can be doing this to you, that they're presenting this dicey move as something that was done in the past, or they was this type of person in the past and they kind of changed and reformed. That's why I'm hearing they kind of changed and reformed, but they still have this ongoing want to be sneaky all the time and hurting people. It's like an automatic thing that they do. Either you're doing this with somebody, or somebody is doing this to you, and they coming, and they may be a person that trips on the past, or they obsess on the past when they present themselves to you. And every time they present themselves in the past, they could be coming off like they're the victim, or they always the one that's getting stabbed in the back in the relationship, from them being in these old relationships. If you're talking to them to be in a relationship with them in the future, either you're coming off like this, or they coming off like this to you, that every time they talking to you to be in a relationship, it's always about being in the past, being stabbed in the back, being the victim in a relationship, and trying to act like they didn't have no input in it. That's why I'm really saying they act like they wasn't the cause of what went wrong in the relationship. And what went wrong in their past, in their relationship, if somebody is talking to you, they a slickster. They a slickster that loves stuff going in their direction, and they will talk it just to cover up their sneaky way of doing shit. That's what I'm hearing. Forgive me for the cussing. And for couples, what it's saying is, whatever the sneaky move is, it was definitely done in the past. You're just finding out about it now and you feel butthurt, but it was done in the past. What reason? I'm not I'm seeing I'm not really getting a vision on a reason of why they did this, but it is actually something that was done in the past that should have been brought up at the time it was done. That's what I'm hearing. But you found out about it now, and is making a confliction of where you want to take the relationship, because it's an old issue that you can't shake off your mind once it got brought up. That's what, and then it's sending you to be cold to this person because you cannot shake off what happened in the past with your companion when it came to this little secret thing that they was holding from you. Either you did this with the companion, or the companion did this with you. Let's see what the last card is. This is too juicy for me. Let me see. Ooh, you got two to fill out. I'm finna flip these. Wow. You had the Nine of Cups in the upright. So for singles, what it's saying is whoever you're talking to, you had hopes and wishes that that person would be the one that you can kind of set up a foundation and start setting up a real life when it comes to being with a one-on-one relationship with the person. You was putting hella hope in that person. You was putting so much hope in that person that that person, once this got blowed out, you got towed up. That's what it is. It broke your heart because you was hoping that person would be the one that would complete you to a point that you can move yourself emotionally to a new level with this one person to learn your love lesson. But you put too much boo boo stank on this person. That's what I'm saying. You put too much stank on this person, and you was holding this person, I don't want to say like the holy grail, but you was holding this person as a fix all to your situation of you being in a one-on-one relationship. And maybe this person carried a characteristic that that the characteristic that they carry, they could talk their way into stuff to give you a fantasy. That's what I'm getting. That they talk their way to a point to give you that fantasy, but that fantasy wasn't there. And you got kind of roped on it. Either you did this to somebody or somebody did this to you. If you was already coupled up, it just said you had your, before the secret broke out, you had your heart totally invested with this person, and you was at a state of contentment and ready to bring in new stuff to complete that final level of that bond with your companion. That's what it was. That was your mind state, that you had everything when it came to your relationship, but the secret that came out kind of just threw a super monkey wrench up in your stuff. I mean, they threw that monkey wrench, got through real hard up in that machinery, and it did what it did. But you was having the, before this came out, you thought everything was easy breezy, and you was wishing, okay, we're gonna put the final cap to our relationship and make our bond tighter. That's what I'm getting. Either you came off like this to the companion, or the companion came off like this to you. The second card you had was the Four of Cups in the upright. So for singles, it's saying that this person, even though you was talking to this person to be in a one-on-one relationship, it's saying this is more of a sign. You had a, you kind of, I'm trying to place it in a nice kind of way. The way I'm going to place it is that you heard all this information, but you didn't care, kind of. You kind of overlooked it. You didn't pay attention to it. You kind of shut yourself off for really digesting this characteristic that this person had. Either you came off like this with somebody, or somebody came off like this to you. No matter if you was hoping that this person did it, you was doing way too much hoping and wishing, while this other person was scheming about what they can get out of a relationship with you. And you ignored the signs. You ignored what was being offered to you when it came to it, and you overlooked certain aspects of that person. And when you found out about it, the person started backpedaling and started kind of talking their way up out of it, and it just sent you in a different mood. Once you found out, you could have found out that this person had a child and they should have told you, or something, or they was dancing with baby mama or baby daddy drama, and you didn't want somebody like that. But because you was trying to run away from the whole aspects of getting into a relationship that had extra burdens that you didn't need to adopt on your plate. But that's just an example, and you found out about that because the person tried to kept it a secret, but you found out by somebody else or somebody in the food chain. Now you was like, you mad because that person could have presented themselves like they didn't have no children or something, and you ignored the signs. It was some signs given, but you ignored it in the hopes of that person was going to be the one to be in a relationship and build something with. Either you came off like this with somebody, or somebody came off like this to you. For couple up, it also saying that you you was also kind of ignoring the signs that was going on. But your signs could be, I'm getting a little bit different, and I think it's more of, with the couples, I think your other half or companion was hiding stuff, not to offend you or hurt your feelings or try to send you in another direction when it came to your bond. So you ignored the kind of the signs that were out there, and when you found out, you still had the same reaction towards it. I think it was one of those things that should have been brought on the table. It should have been put out there when it happened. And even though you seen the signs and they was trying to give it to you, you was ignoring it because you thought your relationship was all that in a bag of chips, or it was all that in a bag of chips, and you couldn't figure something can hit it with a fall or something, and it really did. And once you found out, you got cold, and you just kind of like it, and you started to display the cold emotions towards the whole situation. And I gotta give you one more card. One more card you have underneath the deck is the Page of Swords in the upright. So, whatever is happening for singles, what it's saying is this person you dealing with is definitely is somebody that is younger than you. Either that person that's talking to you is younger, or you're younger than the person you're talking to. And when they're young, they gave out signs because they was immature about the way they was talking. They kind of, youngsters would talk, or people that are younger would talk a certain way, and sometimes if you're older you can't catch it, and you kind of don't, it brushes past you. But this person is younger than you, they talked a certain way, you kind of ignored it because they was new. You took it as young talk, but this, whoever this youngster is, they was head tight with theirs. They came with in such a way, they knew how to talk it even though they was younger than you. And they kind of, maybe you was attracted to them for the youth, and you found out they was older, they looked youthful, or and then they ended up being older than what they were supposed to be. Or they talked in such a way that they was also giving out signs and you missed it, and at the same time they was excusing it, and they knew how. It's one of those things that you can catch a liar, because they will tell you one thing, and then eventually when you go back to it again, it changes, so you can not really catch the story all the way. That's what I'm getting. Either you came off like this with somebody, or somebody came off like this to you. Now, for couples, it's saying that whatever the secret that's going to be let out the box, it has something to do with either somebody, I don't want to say they was messing with, that was younger than you, or it has something to do with a child. It has somebody that is, to me, is newer into the situation. They're younger to the situation. So basically saying that you married for 5 years. I'm gonna just throw 5 years out. This situation that jumped off, I'm hearing it happened in the last year. It's a new situation that you just found out, and they was being secretive. I'm hearing it happened within a year, and you found out and blew up. This could have something to do with a youngster. It could have something to do with your child, that they was trying to cover up the information, that something happened dead wrong with your children, and it ruined what you had, your idea of family and stuff, or what kind of bond you was building with your companion. But whatever the situation is, this is more of a timing thing for couples. It happened within the last year. That this, whatever this past issue that you just found out, it's a kind of a fresh issue. It's fresh and new because it's only a year plus on it. It's something that didn't happen during the course of your relationship. It happened newly in time and you found out about it. So I hope you like this reading. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and leave your comments at the bottom. You can thumb the video up or down, and I'll talk to you later.